Welcome back to the BreakThrough podcast. My name is Omar Muhammad, helping you improve and progress in business and in life. Over there is my co-host. I need to say your name, or you want to say it?
My name is Lou Von Dungeon. It switched from week to week.
I know.
But it's an honor to be here. Thank you, Omar, for having me, and thank you to our guest today.
All right, good deal. But before we get to our guests, you know what we do all the time. So the BreakThrough podcast is brought to you by the Minority Business Development Agency. And this is the show where we provide resources to help individuals discover new pathways. So as you know, we're at Morgan State University, and we're at the Entrepreneurial Development and Assistance Center. And the ride program, I'm about to show you some information, but you can find us on Facebook and Instagram, as well as our website is edacmorgan.com. And we come to you, here we go. Let me share this screen right here. We come to you the last Monday of each month. You know who I am, you know who Luvon is as well. And we also are looking for you. If you're looking to be a guest on the BreakThrough podcast, I mean, we're really looking for those individuals who are formerly incarcerated individuals who have their own business. We're looking for organizations that work with formerly incarcerated individuals. And of course, we're looking for individuals that can add other resources to help formerly incarcerated individuals. So if that's you, send me an email. My email address is omar@edacmorgan.com. So looking forward to today's broadcast. So we want to take it away. You want to introduce and bring our special guest in?
Thank you, my friend. Today, very special young lady. On the show, we talk about how to overcome. On the show, we talk about facing challenges head on, but more importantly, entrepreneurship and the challenges that come with that.
Sir.
Miss Edmonds today will share hope, will share her journey, will share her centeredness. And I am absolutely delighted to know the sister and have her here with us.
Thank you.
So, Omar,
Yes, sir.
beat her over the head with your questions.
Hey, you know, we don't beat people over the head, y'all. We make it fun. And we bring you some great information. So everybody we bring on, you know, they have something to say. And we're looking forward to hearing what Miss Edmonds Yalmikia has to say. So let's first start off with this. You know, tell us about your business. You know, what do you do for fun?
I give women hair. I give them hope. I give them confidence. I help them to discover their self-love, self-awareness, self-identity. I also discovered that I am helping relationships. I am helping homes, communities. I am helping organizations, all by way of providing the services that we provide at Livonia Professionals. And the services that we provide we have several different unique services that we provide, but the primary service we provide is non-surgical hair replacement. And that service is known for women who are experiencing alopecia, and they are looking for something that is more long lasting, and it provides them the freedom and the security that they're looking for. So a lot of our women are women who have experienced some sort of, life-altering event in their life, which led to experiencing alopecia. And they, tried everything they could, and nothing's worked. And so I am the last resort. They save the best for last. So I'm the last resort, and they come seek me. They come seek me out for our services and our products. And we just helping women change their lives. You know, I get a lot of positive feedback, testimonials, and I was inspired to take that information and start creating case studies so I can build on that for future events. So this is something where, you know how some people say they not putting their eggs all in one basket. So
Yeah.
in this situation with my business, I'm all in. All my eggs is in this basket. So everything I do, I'm all in with my business. So I have been able to create within my business. I've been able to become more innovative and creative, and my clients have also been helping me to discover some things by their feedback, which also continue to inspire me to constantly create more. So
I love that. And you're right along with the theme of, what we do here at the Rider program. And it's really helping people, I always say improve and progress, finding new breakthroughs. And I love the way that you say self-care for women. And self-care is something that we all need. And I'm glad that you are doing that with your business. So how did you get here? How did you say, you know what, I'm gonna put all my eggs in one basket, and this is going to be what I'm providing, the services that I'm providing?
So what landed me here was personally, for my personal space, I wanted to be able to spend more time in my personal space. So I had to figure out a way where I can still make money, and make the amount of money that I like to make, where I'm able to afford my lifestyle, and not really have to be stuck in the space. And so I was able to take a pivot during COVID. And I just made a decision that, I'm going to trust this process, and I'm going to take this pivot, which was invest in hair loss. I no longer wanted to just do the traditional hair services. I was burnt out. I got tired of working long hours. I got tired of working 5 days a week. And then I just got tired of just doing the same thing. It just became redundant for me. And so I spent some time in practice of some solitude to figure out, and I have to mention my spiritual side, because that's a part of how I landed here. And so I had a moment, and I got some downloads from God, and I just took action. I didn't put too much thought into it, even though I was scared, but I decided that I was going to close down my business and figure out what my next step was going to be. And I did that for 2 years. And in that process, I went back to school to become a hair loss practitioner. And then I took action again, and I reopened my business during COVID. And I opened up a hair loss center. It was really small, very intimate setting. And who knew that I would have grown out of that space every year after that? So every year I was moving into a larger space. And I just decided that I wanted something that was more meaningful. I didn't want to continue to do something that just was going to continue to drain me. And I kind of didn't understand no longer what my why was. And so once I discovered it again, I decided that this is what I'm gonna do. This is where all my eggs is gonna be. But ultimately, I just decided that I wanted more freedom in my personal space. However, within my business, I wanted to be able to still provide a meaningful service to women without having to spend long hours inside of my business. And I have been fortunate enough to do that. And so in that space now, I kind of went back to working that 5 days, because now I have expanded, and I am, working on some other options with my business so that I can now scale, so that I can take a step away, and start doing some other things outside of that space.
I
It's
love
interesting, Omar, to hear her talk a couple of things. Number one thing, she was searching for freedom found a process that gave her clients freedom.
Yes.
That's interesting. So I understand a win-win. I understand blind faith. But how many people really occupy blind space or
Mm,
blind faith?
mm,
So I think that that's a testament into not knowing,
mm.
but knowing that freedom was paramount
Yeah.
and to land in that. Let me ask one other question, Mika. For the listeners, can you explain to them what is alopecia for those that don't know?
Yeah.
Yes. So alopecia is another term that a lot of women in the African American community is not aware of, but what they are aware of is hair loss.
Mm,
Okay.
So alopecia is when you have 100%, I don't like to say the B word. So I say pain point.
yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of what alopecia is a person who has no hair. And
Okay.
there are different types of alopecia. Some women and men, they are experiencing alopecia in the crown area of their head. I'm
Mm,
sure, Luvon, if you take that hat off, you have alopecia.
I think, yeah, I'm
So,
right here.
Omar, you
Yeah.
have alopecia.
Okay.
So alopecia, like you guys are prime examples of what alopecia is. Alopecia is someone who is experiencing hair loss in a certain area and sometimes all over the whole body. And a lot of people are not aware of how important it is to have hair.
Mm,
So that's why I also educate women about, taking good care of their existing hair and loving on their hair, because when I hear the stories from my clients and they share their experience and how much they wish they known what they know now, then they would not have took or they would not have done a lot of things back then that led to hair loss. And just being more aware of when you may be experiencing alopecia. So alopecia is just someone who has no hair. It's just someone who's bald, and I don't like saying that word,
that's-
but that's what it is. That's
yeah.
exactly what alopecia is. And the other term for it is just hair loss.
Yeah. Hair loss. All right. All right. So,
We experienced an alopecia, Omar.
I know, man. Hey, it's
So that
all.
means that no hair can grow. That's the point of alopecia.
Alopecia is that's not a end all be all. It's unpredictable because some people with alopecia hair can still grow back.
Oh,
It
okay.
just depends on the cause of their alopecia. So for someone who had discovered that they had cancer and they had to start chemotherapy or radiation, like that type of that whole process contributes to alopecia. Some women just cut their hair off because they know that they're gonna have hair fall. And so after they do their treatments or even during their process, their hair still grow back, but the texture may not be the same. Or someone who may have you still have hair that grow back.
Right. Yeah.
You still have hair that grow back. Men who have androgenetic alopecia or male pattern baldness, their hair still grow. It just don't grow in one part. So men just decide to shave the rest off.
Yeah.
So you just have alopecia in one area. Most men I see, they have what we call a George Jefferson. A
Yeah.
lot of my clients have that, but they don't expose it because women is different. Men, you could just shave it off, and women,
Yeah.
our hair is our glory, and we don't want to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I started shaving mine when I was like in high school because that was the look of the day. Well, for me it was. But
Mhm.
get off. Let's transition. I think Levon, you hit it now on, and Mika, you did as well. You talked about your why. You talked about trust the process, and you talked about taking action too. Oftentimes when I work with entrepreneurs, they don't follow some of these. They don't identify what their why is. Sometimes they don't trust the process, and sometimes they don't take action. So, from your perspective, how important is it to really develop your why, your trust the process, and take action as it relates to building your business?
Well, I would have to say, based off of my own personal experience, your business is connected to you, and your business will not, it won't flourish or won't do what it needs to do if the individual is not serious about themselves. So for me, I would have to always go back to the individual. And so whatever blockages that individuals may be experiencing within themselves, that's keeping them stuck and that's keeping them from discovering their why and taking action, that's where it would start at. It starts in, I call that the root. I discovered also on my journey with me transitioning and taking this pivot into hair loss, I knew that I would not have been able to grow or expand if I did not do the individual self-work. And
Wow.
I know that is a never ending. However, when you are looking to do more with your life, purpose, it just always goes back to self. And so I myself, that's where I started. I started with just getting real, getting honest, about me and what it is that I wanted to do. And also whatever that was, it had to be meaningful. In order for me to know that, I have to have a sense of self. I have to have self-awareness. I have to know who I am so that I'm able to take action on these things confidently and effectively. And so for me, I get a lot of people asking me, how are you doing this? How are you so consistent, and how is it that you're able to constantly do? And I have to tell people that the reason why I'm able to do this is because I have a sense of self. I know who I am. I know what I want to do. I know my why. I know that there are individuals depending on me. I don't play around. I take what I do very serious. And I love what I do. In me loving what I do, I still have like boundaries. I have standards. And that's pretty much what I do. I just focus on myself, and what I mean by myself, because I'm a part of a collective. I'm a part of a group of people. And so I'm no good to them if I'm not good to myself.
Whoa, absolutely. We talk about that all the time, especially when I'm working for entrepreneurs. The first thing we do is we talk about mindset. Because if your mind and mindset, if they're not right, then you're not going to be right in business. There's going to be so many challenges, especially during the pandemic. There were a number of individuals who just didn't have the personal development of self-care techniques to carry them through the pandemic as it relates to starting to operate a business. So yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that. You also mentioned too that you didn't have experience in the industry, but you went out and you went to school for that. And oftentimes people want to get involved in a business in a particular industry, and they just jump right in. Sometimes they're successful, and sometimes it's like, man, I should have gotten the experience before I jumped in. How important is that? How important was that for you in really understanding a craft, the industry, before just jumping right in?
Well, I'm the type of person where I don't want to waste my time.
Mm,
And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right.
mm.
And so even though I was in this industry since I was five, it's like, no, really though, since I was five.
Yeah,
But yeah, even though I've been in this industry for a long time,
yeah.
I had certifications and all of that stuff, but I like learning. It's just
Mm.
a part of me. I love learning. And when I discovered that, oh, there's a school for trichology, there's a school that teaches you how to service people with alopecia, which is in New York. I had invested into that, and I just took action again. I I believe that when I did it, I did not want to just go right into business and start operating because of what I already know. I knew that there were some things I did not know, and I did not want to lie to nobody. I did not want to be operating out of a space of acting like I know, because now I'm living a lie. So my thought is, if I'm gonna do it, I'm going to do it right. And so that's what inspired me to go back to school for that specific trade. And I also wanted to learn about it, even though they do teach us some of this stuff in cosmetology school. They don't dive deep on the things that I was interested in, that was going to and has helped my business grow and expand. And the needs of women is able to be effectively met without me guessing and acting like I know something that I don't know, versus me actually knowing. There is a different approach to servicing people when you just know what you know, because I feel it all the time, and it's a level of confidence that I have that my customers don't mind paying me what I ask for, what I'm worth. And it's almost like my power, it resides within my business, although primarily within myself. And so I think it's important to educate ourselves. A lot of times people want to take the wrong route or take the quick route, but you find yourself back having to do the very thing that you should have just did the first time.
Yeah.
And so I love to learn. I love educating myself. And even when I went back to school for human services, I was able to. And speaking of that, you were one of the judges when I was one of the students for the with Mr. Dennis at CCBC. I was one of the students who won seed money for my business. So
Really?
that same year was the year that I had
Wow.
expanded my business.
Okay.
So the $5,000 that I won, even though I felt like I should have won more, but the $5,000 that I won, I was able to take that money and invest into this machine, a laser machine, to help people regrow their hair. And that same year I got that machine, I made an additional 35 something thousand dollars.
Oh, wow.
And I was able to expand and relocate my business. So, I was in school for human services. And even though that's what my area of concentration was, I applied for that program, and I ended up being one of the students chosen for it. So even in that space, even though my degree don't have nothing to do with that program that they offer at CCBC, I had already been gone from there for 1 year. And I decided to, apply for that program. So I'm just always looking for resources to grow, not just my business, but just myself first. And then, that automatically works with the business. So
Omar, reaching people that you don't even know, successful back on the screen.
Absolutely.
Because I saw you lean up like, do I know you?
I don't remember her, but I remember. I always work with Dennis over at CCBC, and I probably voted for you. I probably fought hard for you, and they probably said, "No, she don't need the first." I'm like, "Yes, she need to be first place." I voted for you. Now looking at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can unpack a whole lot of what you said. But we only have limited time here. But I do want to unpack this. I work with a lot of women, and sometimes they want to reduce their price because they don't think that their price is competitive, and people are not going to pay that. But I heard you say this, because of the service. Well, I'm not going to put words in your mouth. Why are people paying you for what you're worth? And how can, I want to talk about the ladies for right now, guys, but how can women who are in business, I'm going to say, duplicate or use some of your techniques and skills to get paid for what they're worth?
Good question. So specifically in the industry I'm in, I created a lane. No one really does what I do here. And so I'm gonna be honest, it just takes a lot of faith in knowing what you provide and bring to the marketplace is adding value to people lives. It's not about just providing a service so you can exchange your time for money, but you really have to have a passion and you really have to love what it is that you're doing. And I know as an example that when you operate from that space, people will flock to you, people will seek you out, people will come. And so based off of that, and I even did a case study on my business. So that's how I knew that I can do what I do. I did do market research.
Wow.
I went to different the bigger box companies like Bosley and the Hair Club for Men. I went and sat in those places just to see how they operate so that I could see what they were missing that I can add.
Yeah.
And a lot of those bigger companies, they don't care about the people. They just really worried about the transaction.
Yeah.
And I knew right then and there that I was, right where I needed to be. And so for someone who may be in a different industry from me, but they want to be able to charge what they feel they are worth, in order to charge what you feel you are worth, you have to know who you are, for one, in the industry you're in, and you have to be aware, you have to know what you know. Like people going to be able to tell if you being honest, and people are going to be able to tell if you are being authentic. People want to be able to tell if you really know your stuff. And if you are really not sure, because I wasn't always here, so I used to charge $45 for a wash and curl, right? But as times has changed, I changed, which means that I have increased in value. Like I know I am valuable. I know what I'm worth. And so for anybody in business for themselves, they have to know what they are worth. But the only way to know that is by way of continuing to educate yourself in that industry you're in and being very intentional, like being intentional about what it is that you're doing, not just doing it, because in just doing things, you become burnt out. Trust me, I know. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But there's a different type of force, a different type of feeling, a different type of energy that comes when you are intentional with what you're doing. Because energy don't lie. And so I would say be very intentional in the industry that you are in and continue to seek information, continue to seek knowledge, put yourself in rooms and get rid of imposter syndrome, because that's something that I've struggled with for years. I did not toot my own horn. I was not confident in what I was doing. I felt less than. It was a lot of negative emotions that I was feeling, which also represented my business, and people could see that. And so now people see the shift, people see the change. And I really walk with my head held high, and I just know what I know, and I own what I know.
I love that. I love it. All right. So y'all now, fellas, we're talking to you back again. All right. So that was good. I'm glad you shared them. You dropped a lot of good tools for the listeners. So how can people reach out to you to learn more about the services that you offer?
So people can find me on these social media streets.
Okay.
That's where I be.
All right.
So, and my business is Levanye Professional. So I'm gonna be honest,
You're gonna have to spell it out for
so
people.
long.
Yes.
It's Levonye Professionals.
Yeah,
They can spell professionals, right?
yeah. We'll have it in the back.
Levonye Professionals. If they, Google that, all my stuff come up. Social media, website, interviews that I've done, all that stuff will come up. So,
All right, well, we appreciate you coming on board. Any final thoughts?
I would just like to say, trust your process, know yourself, trust yourself, and do the real work.
Do the real work.
The real work.
Absolutely. All right, Levon, as I make this transition, any thoughts from you?
I think the only thing that I would say is first, congratulations, Mika, for the transition. I think, Omar, that was a really great question of how the people increase the price points.
Yes, sir.
And I think Mika answered it by increasing your sense of self-worth, increasing your self-value, increasing your knowledge about yourself. Take a hiatus to get to know your value before you go into your space to share what that value really means. So
Yeah.
thank you again.
Absolutely. And before we leave, don't forget, we just don't have this podcast over at the Rise Center. We also have entrepreneurial training programs. We have other on-demand content. We have an annual event. We also have opportunities for you. If you're stuck or you're looking for some guidance, we have individuals that can meet with you on a one-on-one basis. Again, my email, as you see at the bottom, omar@edacmorgan.com. Our website is edacmorgan.com as well. And we look forward to seeing you next time. But until next time, continue to discover new pathways. And once again, Yalmikia, Edmonds, I voted for you. You should have came in first place. I'm at the
I'm
top.
grateful.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm at the
grateful
top.
for what I got.
Talk to Dennis about this, but thank you, and we look forward to hearing much more from you. So thank you for coming on
Thank
to.
you for having me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No problem. All right, everybody. Thanks, Luvon. Until next time, continue to improve and progress. Peace.